All right. Hey allemaal. Als het goed is, zijn we nu live, ook op Telegram. Even kijken hoe het daar zit. Jawel. Er zitten mensen in het kanaal. Ik zie dat het geluid doorkomt. Hey Rochels, hey Arun, welcome to another AMA by Your Open Metaverse. It's so great to have you all. I'm hoping that there's also some people on YouTube. It's another Friday, another Ask Us Anything, Ask Me Anything regarding Your Open Metaverse. So last week we had a kind of a big announcement. We announced our launchpad, which is going to be Solanium, as all of you probably know by now. Very important, very impactful, and we're very proud of our partnership with Solanium. Proud that we're going to launch on this platform. But after a big announcement like that, obviously it's not easy to come up with something interesting to share. And although I am well aware that many, if not most of you, are probably still asking the question, when TG, when Moon, even though we are in a bear market at the moment, that is a question that, unfortunately, I won't be answering today. Yes, it's an anticlimax at the start of this AMA, but I promise you, as soon as we can share it, we will share it. Well, that leaves us with an AMA to fill. And obviously, we know by now that you guys don't need 30 full minutes to ask me questions, especially not because we're doing this AMA every week. So we were thinking to ourselves, what are we going to do this week? What are we going to show people? And then out of the blue, my marketing team came up with an amazing idea. So for those of you that don't know, obviously, we're building a platform. We're building the Your Open Metaverse platform. And building this platform is not always very sexy, because at the end of the day, what we're building is a framework, a software development kit that will allow future brands, artists, and creators to build anything they want. That means that technically, we're not really building any cool environments or visuals like you could see with other Metaverse projects. We are not making, the next business Call of Duty, and we can't show you some really cool stuff, technically. On the other hand, however, we want to make sure that the world out there, businesses, brands, artists, etc., that they have an idea of what would be possible if they decided to build a meta space, a metaverse, a meta reality on our platform. And so to achieve that, I have set one of actually we have two dev teams right now, but we're going to see one of them today, at least two people from this dev team. We have two dev teams right now working on incredible worlds to share with you, to give you an idea of what is truly possible in the future on the Your Open Metaverse platform. And so today, what we're going to do is we're going to have our first sneak peek into what is truly possible. Now, before we're going to dive into that, I want to introduce you guys to two of our developers, the team that is working with us in Utrecht very hard. I want, please, a big round of applause. Do it at home. Nobody will be able to hear you, but we'll know in our hearts that you're applauding for our developers. Here I have for you Arthur and Rob.
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, Aragorn?
So, for those of you that haven't met Arthur and Rob yet, Rob is the guy on the left with the brilliantly red shirt, and Arthur is the guy on the right. Now, Arthur is, for example, the guy behind the amazing Solanium moving animation that you guys saw last week.
Stop flattering me.
No, but it's so awesome that I still have it on my television right here. Can you guys see that? I still have it on the television. I have it on every screen of my computer at home all the time. It's my go-to screensaver now because it's so cool. And for you guys, just to let you know, he's working on an animation similarly for the Your Open Metaverse logo. So I can't wait for that to be finished. Arthur, so good to have you. Can you tell our community a little bit about yourself?
Sure. My name's Arthur. I'm 23. I started working here since November. and I've been enjoying the hell out of it. It's been a really awesome ride so far, and I'm very happy with the things that we'll be showing you guys in the coming months. And so yeah, I don't know if there's anything else to say. I'm just the guy behind the screens making pretty things with my colleague Rob here. We're currently working on something that will be revealed later this month, which is going to be a cinematic.
Awesome. Thank you, Arthur. So for those of you that hadn't noticed, Arthur is actually the second king working at your open metaverse. Of course, I'm the first king. I'm Aragorn. Arthur is the second king. And he actually ordered a round table for a meeting room so that we can be the knights of the Your Open Metaverse round table. So next to Arthur is actually another one of our developers. His name is Rob. Rob, please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I'm Rob van der Sloot. I'm a game designer and level designer. I've been working here for a couple of weeks now, and I'll be working with Arthur on some of our very exciting meta space projects, creating large virtual spaces.
Yep, you have been. So for those of you at home, Rob really impressed me with his work so far. But what really impressed me, and this is probably something for people out there that are more or less my age, apparently he's good friends with the developers of a little-known game, Command and Conquer Red Alert.
Yeah,
so I don't know about...
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention.
So I don't know if I was allowed to share that, and perhaps he's gonna have some really difficult conversations now. But Arthur has been going to which LAN party is that? Is it DreamHack? Which one have you been going to? Rob? Sorry, Rob. I said Arthur. I mean Rob.
Oh, sorry. No, I've been going to Gamescom a lot, and Michael Burton-Legg, who's the head of Petroglyph Entertainment, the former creators of Red Alert, they are often at Gamescom, and they are always so friendly to invite me and my friends over to their special after parties and such.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very strange how that ended up that way, but
This is awesome.
That's how these things go. So I am actually super jealous now, because Command & Conquer, and specifically Command & Conquer Red Alert, has been one of my favorite games of all time. In fact, I still do LAN parties with my friends once a year, and we used to always play it at the LAN party, but I think they banned it from the LAN party, because on the last LAN party they had to play 6 versus 1 versus me to actually be able to win. So they're not really enjoying it anymore, I think.
He's making that up.
I believe it. Because, it's the same for me with Tony Hawk's Underground too.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Tony Hawk.
Yeah, for anyone out there who plays that, I'm not talking. I'm not trash talking. It's true.
Yeah,
as you can tell, we're all gamers.
We're not bragging. We're just really good. So I can maybe some of the people out there in the community right now, I mean, I guess a lot of them are from the crypto community, and hopefully there's some people like us that are actually also former gamers. And perhaps you're thinking to yourself, like, why are these guys talking about games? Why do they have, two basically game devs sitting over there? Rob being a level designer, Arthur being an environments artist. And I just want to quickly go, or actually, instead of me answering that question, I'd like to put that question to Rob and Arthur. So I don't know which one of you wants to answer this, but can you explain why to build your open metaverse and to build these environments, it's so important that we get guys on board with experience like your own?
Well, basically, the meta spaces are going to be giant playgrounds for people to do whatever in. The sky's the limit. It's going to be a lot more than just a place where people can congregate and talk to each other, but you'll be able to play games in them. So makes sense to have a level designer on board.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny because there's this term, I always have to look it up again, but there's this term that originates with the Dutch historian. It's called Homo Ludens, which refers to the playing man. And it's this philosophical idea that ultimately man's true, the way man finds meaning in life is through play, through games, right? And so when we're thinking about the metaverse and the next step we're going to make in how we interact with each other and with the world, gamification is a very important part of that. And we already saw a trend of gamification, of course, in recent years, in coming to business world, coming to the business world, coming to B2B, coming to B2C. But ultimately, that's also something that's going to play a big role in the metaverse. So, Arthur, what are your thoughts on that? What are your contributions in terms of building these amazing environments and that game aspect? Can you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. So one thing, of course, is that when you're building the metaverse, you're essentially just building an infrastructure which is empty. And in fact, we kind of function like an agency for this infrastructure. That's kind of what we're doing here. And because this space is empty and there's so much you can do with it, it's like a blank canvas. And so we're kind of here to fill in this blank canvas and to start making really cool things and get people on board and interested in the whole metaverse concept if they're not already. Yeah. And also, it's kind of we function as an introduction to the concept of the metaverse because it is an interactive 3D environment. It's the next step of the internet. And I feel like for a lot of people, it's not really clear what is possible within this metaverse, and it's. I mean, nobody has all the answers, of course, and that's the beautiful thing about this technology. It's very new, and we haven't thought of all the different applications that are there yet. It's essentially the same thing when the internet first started rolling out. There's a really cool bit of Bill Gates talking about like when for the first time a baseball game was being broadcasted through audio on the internet, and people were asking, okay, but what about radio? So it's kind of like we're at the same spot here. And essentially, we're just lifting up the curtain and showing people who might not completely understand what is possible within this metaverse, what it could be. And that is a pretty big task to take on sometimes, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, very well put. Very well put. So I think we what do you guys think, Rob, Arthur? You think we should show them a little bit of what you guys have been cooking up?
Well, I don't know, maybe.
I would be glad to. It's not going to be much because, we want to keep...
No, don't talk it down. For those of you listening right now, Arthur and Rob are always very, very, very modest about their work. But every time I come and take a look, I am absolutely blown away. So without further ado, let's have
I got a really good feeling about this.
Here we go. So unfortunately, I don't think is there a music? There's no music, is there?
No, they're just.
I'm just gonna talk about it, but yeah. So while we're looking at this, I'll tell you guys, I actually went to the dev team, and so we have two teams right now. We have one team working. They are part of an organization called VR Division, and they're in Istanbul, and they're working on an environment which hopefully we'll be showing you soon as well, which is super sci-fi. So I went to our internal dev team and I said, guys, I want you to create something completely mind-blowing. But in this case, I want you to take a different approach. So rather than making a very science fiction kind of world, I want you to build something different so that people really get, that contrast of what is really possible. And so then Arthur, and this is, for you guys out there, this is only like 1.5 weeks of work, right? So Arthur, in 1.5 weeks, this is what he put together, or at least this impression.
2 weeks. 2 weeks, I think it would be. 2 weeks.
Yeah. So can you tell us a little bit of what we're looking at, Arthur?
Sure. I mean, the initial concept is actually something that Rob came up with. I think it was a scene from a movie or something.
Yeah. There was a specific scene from, I think it's the movie What Dreams May Come,
all right.
Which we ran with and iterated on to create like a very impressive, more classical style environment.
I mean, it is still, of course, in heavy development, and we're not showing too much because this is actually an environment that will be shown in full later this month. So we're just kind of lifting up the veil on this one, but we don't want to share too much because it would definitely impact the impact it's going to make on you guys.
Yeah.
But keep an eye out for this, and if you love Roman architecture, then this is totally your thing. I know I sure do love it, and it's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm getting some feedback that on Telegram the video isn't exactly really sharp. I'm very sorry about that. There are some limitations in terms of the video content we can put through on Telegram, but don't worry. We will in very soon release full quality of these sneak peeks so that you can have a better look at it if that's something that you're interested in. So for me, just to clarify, a few things that we're really working on right now internally is that we kind of want to set the expectations right for the metaverse and for your open metaverse. And what we're seeing right now in the market is that the first kind of step that people are making towards, virtual reality integration into their experiences is the concept of virtual twins, right? So we're getting a lot of people reaching out to us from big club groups, clubs around the world, entertainment industry kind of things, where they go like, we have an amazing club or we have an amazing event, but we would like to build it hybrid. We want people to be able to visit our event from anywhere in the world at any time and have the kind of same experience that they would have if they're an actual visitor. And of course, that's a very valid idea. Personally, I think that the metaverse will enable us to do so much cooler stuff. But ultimately, that's probably a necessary step for people to really get used to that metaverse idea. And so the three things that I asked the teams to do is to, on the one hand, sorry, you wanted to say something, Rob?
Oh, no.
I thought I heard one of you guys say something. Okay, so what we're trying to do here is that we're trying to build this virtual twin thing, and we're going to showcase that, what that might look like. We're also going to build a completely abstract kind of environment that is really mind-blowing and it steps away from traditional rules of geometry and laws of physics and that stuff if we can, to showcase that in your open metaverse, there is truly no limitations to what kind of experience you can build. And then finally, we'll have a little bit something like a science fiction kind of environment, that feels like you're like 100 years in the future on a different planet, perhaps even, to give an idea of what's actually possible. So, can you guys, perhaps Rob can answer this one. Rob, what is one of the main challenges when you're building worlds like this on Unreal Engine?
One of the main challenges is that the rules aren't really set yet for what the metaverse is going to be. So we kind of want to open people's eyes to what could be possible before the rules have been set yet.
Yeah.
So we have to dream as well. What the things might look like.
Yeah, very true. I was actually, when I told them to get to work, I had a certain expectation in my mind, and then 2 days later I came and looked at Rob's screen and there was a whole fleet of fucking sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I just flipped up. There was a whole fleet of Greek ships there, and I was like, Greek ships? I really wasn't expecting this. But it just goes to show that there's so many possibilities. And we haven't even started on the assets yet, because boy, when we really get started on the assets, like the cosmetics and stuff that you can wear, jackets, outfits. Actually, we did start on that because a couple of weeks ago, I asked Arthur to start work on a very special NFT virtual asset, or I should say virtual asset that we will turn into an NFT, which will be made available through an airdrop specifically for people on Discord. So keep your eyes out for that one. It's going to be like an early community thing where we really reward people that have been in our Discord community from the start, something like that. More on that will follow. But it's very cyberpunk, and it's very cool, right?
It sure is. It's super cyberpunk.
Yeah. Okay, so I have one more question, and what we're going to do then is we're going to open up a round of questions to everybody out there. So I would like to see if there's any questions that will be coming from YouTube and from Telegram at that point. So let's see. I just got to fix my screen here because right now I can't see the chat, which can be kind of a challenge if you want to have a conversation. Here we go. Yes. There's chat. That's one. Alex is in there. When Moon? Oh, of course, when Moon. Yeah. Should have expected that question from our CEO because he has absolutely no clue what's going on. Okay, so yeah, but before we get into the chat, I quickly want to ask one more question from you guys. So, what takes the most time when it comes to development? I'm just gonna take a random question because I got another 10 here and I can't ask all of them anyway. So, what takes the most time when it comes to building a world like this?
I'm anticipating all of the mocap involved.
Yeah. The motion capture. So what do you guys feel? I mean, I've been seeing a lot of motion capture stuff on the internet. There's a lot of artificial intelligence motion capture available or becoming available now. That technology is really moving forward quite fast. How do you guys think that will impact your open metaverse in the future?
I think it's going to make things, at least for people like us, a lot easier. And also for, companies that would want to have to do something with the metaverse, because you now would not need any expensive suits and have to change clothes and do all the hassle and all the stuff that takes just a lot of time and is very inconvenient. This stuff, I mean, the AI, it's already there and it's already very impressive. It's only going to get better. So at some point it's going to be so insanely convenient to just put like 3 phone cameras somewhere and boom, you have like full body tracking, which you could then stream to like Unreal or something. And I think that it's actually very interesting and also very it's a relief for me because I am a 3D artist, but 3D animation, it's a painstaking process. So I'm really happy that these developments are in full sprint.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's actually, you're making such good points. I think it's very important when we're looking at the metaverse as a whole, not just the Your Open Metaverse platform. It's very important to understand what drives this whole new move. I mean, metaverse was a word that wasn't really used that much in the general public until Mark Zuckerberg moved forward and renamed Facebook, obviously. But now everybody's talking about it. Well, what does it really mean? And why is it happening now? What's different today from like, a few years ago? And I think that really comes down to the development of technologies. We're seeing artificial intelligence, which is being used in all these multiple ways that is really, it's being used in unison with developments on blockchain technology. It's being used for virtual reality. It's being used for augmented reality. It's being used for motion capture. It's being used for, generating procedurally generated worlds. It's being used in Unreal Engine 5, in their new technology. It's being used in how we generate graphics, etc. So that's just artificial intelligence, which is impacting all these fields, and the developments in that field are going really rapidly. And then we have other technologies, of course, like DLT, decentralized ledger technology, blockchain, which obviously is very important for our decentralized your open metaverse. And then finally, of course, we have the development of the 3D engines and virtual reality, augmented reality, and all the stuff that's going on there. And then we haven't even talked yet about human machine interfaces that will also really impact, what kind of data we'll have available in the metaverse environments that we're in the future, that, real time. So there's so much cool stuff coming. I see there's some questions now in the chat. So let's have a look at that. I see that Mr. Rochels, I'm just going to call him Mr. Rochels. It's kind of funny for Dutch people out there. He asked a question, but it was deleted. So please, Rochels, go type your question again. And then we'll see if we can answer that one. So let's see if there's any other questions out there. I'm gonna look at the YouTube chat quickly. When Moon from our CEO already asked, what is the maximum supply of coins? What is the maximum supply of coins? Oh wow, can somebody jump in on that one? It's in the tokenomics, but I don't know by heart. I think it's, oh no, I better not say something that's probably wrong. Let me have a quick look. If you go to our website, YOM.community, you can find the tokenomics there. And, oh, yeah. And in the tokenomics, you can look it up. So I'll quickly look it up for you. Hopefully, I won't forget anymore myself. So here's the token supply. The total token supply will be 300 million. 300 million will be the total token supply. You can find that in the tokenomics on YOM.community. Thank you, Alexi. Rochels, well, H&M made a virtual shop. Will your open metaverse also make it in the future? So,
if we're making a virtual shop, I mean, yeah, we are definitely making a marketplace. So we are building that. That is being worked on. We are not working on it. I mean, to some extent, I think I might hop onto it as well, but that is in the works. So,
thank you, Arthur. I think that's definitely one interpretation of his question. And for that interpretation, the answer is yes. We're building our own marketplace, and ultimately, that marketplace, of course, will also have a virtual three-dimensional representation in your open metaverse, where every meta experience, every meta store, every meta concert could also potentially monetize, trade, sell, buy, etc. their virtual assets or tickets or anything that you might want. But I think that the question that Roros really asked is, will we be having big brands with their own stores on your open metaverse? And the question to that is absolutely 100% what we want. The question is, which brand is going to be the first one? If we look at other metaverse projects out there, like Decentraland, then what we see is that these big brands have a tendency not to jump on board too early. And considering the stage at which your open metaverse is right now, we are looking for big brands to collaborate with to build that kind of first store. Unfortunately, right now I can't say much on any brands that we have confirmed or not confirmed yet, but hopefully we will be able in the future. But I think that when it comes to really global brands like Samsung or Nike or H&M or Louis Vuitton, I think that it's gonna be at least another year before we can do any announcements of brands of that magnitude to come on our platform. Ultimately, of course, when that does happen, it's gonna be massive, because along with the fact that a project like that would be a massive influx, would have a massive impact also on our tokenomics, because every project that is built on your open metaverse will have an impact on the demand for our tokens. And as such, that will ultimately drive the token price up. So that's a good thing. That's where the economics come in. But on the other hand, when we get a project like that, it will also bring a brand new audience, because H&M has millions and millions of fans around the world. So if a brand like that would step onto our platform, it means that right off the bat, we get millions of new users that can experience not only the H&M store on our platform, but might also decide to use their super profile to jump into a concert from a DJ like Sam Ace, who is on our roadmap, or go to a different experience or play a game that's built, games like Star Atlas, etc. Hopefully, that type of game will be available in the future as well on your own metaverse. So I hope that answers your question. So, okay, thank you, but everyone's not answering my question. Yes, I was. So let's see, what else do we have out there? You're Dutch. Yes, I'm not surprised. So any other questions right now? Are there any other questions from the community? Is YOM compatible with cross-game avatar? Great question from Interesting EAT, or do I pronounce that EAT? Can you clarify the question a little bit? Because if you're just asking whether your open metaverse will allow for cross-game avatars, then the answer to that is yes, that's something that we definitely want to make happen. But when I say yes, I mean on your open metaverse. So let's say, for example, that we have a game that's being developed by some indie studio, and they develop a game on your open metaverse. And there will also be a concert by Sam Ace, or she will even have her own dedicated DJ space for her target audience, her fans. And then we'll also have, let's say we get an H&M store because they watch this AMA and they decide, yeah, I want to be on your open metaverse. When that happens, all of these three worlds, they are not directly connected to each other. However, if you'll have an avatar and a super profile on your open metaverse, then you can take that avatar to within certain limitations, probably, to every world. And when I say certain limitations, what I mean to say is that, for example, H&M might say, well, we only allow photorealistic human avatars, meta-humans as avatars. But the game that's also in your open metaverse might say, well, in our game, everybody looks like Crash Bandicoot, right? But then, high res. So ultimately, that means that there can be these avatars can be directly taken to another game, perhaps. That depends on the space and the experience and the freedom they allow their users in terms of their avatars. So if Sam A says, no, but in my meta experience, you can bring any avatar you want, then technically, in the future, it will be possible to go as a fox or to go as a fairy tale or to go as a, as a clone of Aragorn, if that's what you want. I don't know if you should want that. Maybe not. But technically, that would be possible. Actually, that's.
I think that the question was more leaning towards if these avatars are actually like multi-chain. That might have been. I mean, that's the second interpretation of this question. And while it would be theoretically possible, given that it's virtual data, it's going to be very difficult because not every metaverse uses the same engine or the same underlying currency. So perhaps in the future we will see it because we're also constantly finding new applications for the internet that has been around for a while now. Yeah. Perhaps, but cross-chain is something very complicated, and it might happen, it might not. We'll have to see. Nobody knows.
Maybe if this an avatar standard at some point.
Yeah, something like that. Or I mean, there might be smart people who know something to find a way around this. But
well, look, I mean, we can look at the past for some examples, right? I mean, ultimately, when Facebook first launched, and we even had something called Google Plus for a while. You'd make a profile on there, which in a way was your Web 2.0 avatar, right? Because you had a picture and your name. And you couldn't take that to other places, right? And up until today, of course, because there's no multi-chain kind of technology underneath it, it's still, not, 100%. But if you go from Facebook to Instagram, or you go, even if you go from Instagram to a different platform, because Instagram ultimately is also Meta, of course, but it'll ask you what you want to log in with. And if you log in with your Facebook profile, then it'll take all the data from your Facebook profile and integrate that. Now, of course, ultimately, 10 years from now, we'd like to see a future where things are more seamless, where you just hop into this new world and it goes automatically, and you're still in control of your privacy, right? But I can definitely see, and I know 100% for certain that that's something that we would love to realize, as long as we can find partners and other platforms, and we can find the technological, acumen to create this. That in the future, yes, you can hop onto a different metaverse. You can tell them, look, I got a super profile already on your open metaverse. Just take that super profile data and reconstruct my avatar here, or copy it over, bring it in. But I have to also be realistic in expectation management, and this is not something that will be realized within 1 or perhaps even 5 years. But this is definitely something that's further down the line, I think. Maybe we get lucky. Maybe it's faster.
I think it's also something that we don't really have control over because we're not working on blockchain technology itself. We're utilizing it. And I think that a lot would have to be done around blockchain itself and the different chains that are right now to be able to do this. Then also there is a problem, of course, when it comes to just the different game engines where different pipelines are being used. So it is difficult, but it could be possible, definitely. Yeah. And it's very interesting to think about, to be honest, because what you see right now with a lot of software that is actually being used, that we use for game development, they are cross-pollinating and they are starting to talk to each other and becoming more of a seamless pipeline. Yeah. So I think it will happen at some point, but it's not going to be very, very soon. Yeah.
So it's interesting. EAT says in chat, thank you, Aragorn. Yes, such like Ready Player Me avatars. Yeah, actually, it's funny that you mentioned this. We've been talking, and we're in contact with Ready Player Me. So, can't say a lot there. I'm not sure where that whole conversation is going, whether we'll have a very tight partnership in the future. But yeah, we're in touch with them. But we're also working with a very cool company in the Netherlands here called Replica. If you don't know about them, I suggest you research them. They are on the forefront of meta-human development and avatar development. So, in fact, I have a very cool thing I'm going to do next Monday. And hopefully on next AMA, I will be showing it off. And if not, I'll be showing it off very soon. So, enough about avatars and me giving secret hints that I'm probably not allowed to talk about yet. Okay, any other questions? I see some crying stickers in Telegram chat. What are we crying about, people? Oh, don't cry. Don't cry, little blue man. Any more questions? Because I went 6 minutes over time already again, which is, I have a tendency. And because we're doing AMAs every week, we don't get hundreds of questions. But I am going to wrap the AMA up pretty soon. So if you guys have any more questions for Rob or Arthur about what we're doing, what we're developing, or for me about the project, I'll give you another 40 seconds to write it down. Let's see. Oh, great show. You like the show, Rolls? Thanks. Appreciate that. I have all these sound samples here. I always want to use them, but I always forget which button is what. So I'm always afraid that if I press the wrong one, I get something really weird like this.
Why is everyone so fucking stupid? Why aren't more people intelligent like me?
You see, yeah. You don't want to accidentally press that in the wrong moment. Okay, so 40 seconds have passed. We didn't get any more questions. So I think we're gonna wrap it up for today. I was super happy for you guys to be here, Rob and Arthur. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
Yeah. So before I end this, when will we get a new update on the amazing worlds that you're building? What do you think?
End of this month.
End of this month.
There's gonna be at least one. And there might be a second one very shortly after. So
we're moving very fast.
Yeah, we're moving at a rapid pace.
Okay, so Nicola, is Nicola there? Is my intern there? Nicola, you over there?
I can get him. I
can't believe this. He's not in there with you guys?
No, he's not in here with us.
We have to catch him first.
Yeah, we have to catch him first.
Very good. Okay, so while we're waiting for Nicola and before we shut off, I almost forgot something super important. Guys, our Discord moderators, Jochem and Patrick, have come up with this amazing poll that we're going to run. And this poll is actually to figure out what is going to be our next event. So there's a bunch of really cool options in there. So if you guys haven't checked it out yet, be sure to go check it out. Jochem, I see that you're in Telegram. Can you post where they can find this poll or when it's going to be launched? Because right now I have a brain freeze. But everybody out there, make sure to answer the poll because you are in control. You can decide what will be the next cool event we do for our community. Hey, Nicola, there you are. So, everybody say hi. This is my intern, Nicola. Nicola.
Hey guys, how are you?
Can you make a note that in 4 weeks from now we have to do another cinematic update of the amazing worlds that we're going to build?
Another.
Sure, we'll do that definitely.
Arthur and Rob are responsible for that. Thank you so much. I'll find a way to get Nicola in here to do something cool on another AMA in the future. Okay, so that's it for now. Everybody out there, thank you for joining us for this AMA. I can't wait to see you again next week. Arthur, Rob, thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing us this amazing stuff. That's it for now, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right, see you guys.
See you guys, bye-bye.